Panamera S E-Hybrid, and in this video we are going to be reviewing it. So this car is a 2014 and it was released right after the Porsche hypercar, the 918 Spyder, and quickly became a key part of Porsche's hybrid lineup. However, after 10 years, does it stand the test of time, and how does it perform on the road? In this video, we are going to be exploring these questions and answering the question, is this car worth it in 2025? If you haven't yet, please make sure to like and subscribe as we really appreciate it. My name is Ethan and welcome to Car Creations. In the early 2010s, Porsche ventured into hybrid technology with two distinct models. The 2013 918 Spyder, a cutting-edge hypercar, and the 2014 Panamera Hybrid, a luxury sedan blending performance with efficiency. In 2014, Porsche came out with the plug-in variant called the Panamera E-Hybrid. These cars combined large gas V6 and V8 engines with an electric powertrain. Today, the Spyder is a legend. However, the Panamera of its time is often overlooked due to its divisive styling and expensive maintenance. Looks haunt the Porsche Panamera of this era. However, on the front, everyone would agree that it actually looks pretty good. With the low swooping front, with the nice angular headlights, with a little circle kind of taken from the 911 creased bonnet, as well as all the really cool Porsche acid green accents all over the car, on the decals, as well as on the brake calipers. The rims look nice, and it starts looking ugly when we get to the rear of the car. It has looks that really only a mother could love. With these large round tail lights and this round bumper that's super high and almost folds itself directly into the roof, the rear kind of looks like a beluga whale, if this was the front of the beluga whale. So despite the questionable exterior, the interior feels luxurious. High quality material everywhere, nice carbon fiber on the door panels, really nice leather on the doors, and even after 10 years and 100,000 kilometers, the buttons still feel like factory. They're not crunchy and they still work really well. The only thing that dates it is really only the bad center display. And although it's touch, it kind of feels like an iPod from before 2010. Despite that, you could probably update it to something more modern. So I'm not going to really worry about it because there's plenty of systems out there that will add Apple CarPlay or even replace the screen and infotainment system altogether. And unlike modern cars, there are buttons. And not just a few, literally thousands of them. I feel like I'm in a jet cockpit with numerous buttons down the center console, buttons all over the doors, buttons on the dash, buttons on the roof, buttons everywhere, and I love it. Definitely takes a few moments when you get in the car to know where everything is, but once you get used to it, you have muscle memory to reach over and press the exact button that you want. Ooh, cooled seat, sports mode. You get the right button almost every time and you don't have to fumble with this touchscreen. One of the things that passengers love in this car, like any Porsche from this era, is the cup holders. Press the middle, open up a cup holder, press it back, and you have a cup holder sitting there for you or for your passenger. And the luxurious interior doesn't just end with the front seats, it also continues with the rear. If I didn't like driving so much, I'd almost want to spend most of my time back here. It's full on bucket seats, I feel really good. I'd love to sit here on a long trip. And once again, buttons everywhere. You can control your own seats, you can control the temperature, you can have your heated seats, you have a little spot here to put your cup holders, and if you want more cup holder space, and it opens up and you have another cup holder, you have a little spot to put things, you have a 12-volt socket, let me put it back together, there we go, the nice Bose speakers, and finally we have the window controls right here. With that, let's get on the road and let's see how this large estate performs. So the 2014 Panamera S E-Hybrid, quite a mouthful, it combines a supercharged V6 engine with a 95 horsepower electric motor, delivering a total of 416 horsepower and 435 foot-pounds of torque. And with that setup, it allows this car to accelerate from 0 to 60 in 5.2 seconds. And you can barely hear this engine do it. It's definitely not the most quick car in the world, but that's not what this car is about. It's about opulence and comfort. And if you're going with those two things, this car checks all the boxes. For example, air-cooled seats? What? From 2014? So on the road, this car delivers a decently balanced driving experience. So the car gives you balanced acceleration while in sport. And if you're on more spirited drives around twisty corners like this, the chassis ensures stability and comfort. And if you're just driving around town, you can press e-power right on the console here. And what it will do is enable the all-electric mode. You basically have 95 horsepower at your disposal, and you can go between 15 and 20 miles on that. So you can go all around town, and when you get home, you just plug it in and you're set to go. So the Panamera S E-Hybrid features a very modest 9.4 kilowatt hour lithium ion battery. Say that 10 times fast. So while this range is pretty modest by today's standards, it was very competitive in 2014, especially with the advanced regenerative braking, taken right from the 918 Spyder. So that's kind of where the comparison stopped with the Spyder, that is for sure. Because this car only has one electric motor. The Spyder had two, plus a V8 engine. So let's talk about the driving of this car itself. So I don't know if it's because it has over 116,000 kilometers, which is around 75,000 miles. But while in the hybrid mode, the car kind of feels like it has a little bit of lag, especially when you're accelerating between 0 and 20 kilometers. So here's a perfect example here. We have a stop sign. Stop. I drive away, and there's nothing. And suddenly the engine kicks into life and you lurch ahead. I don't think it blends super well, and it was something that I really have to get used to, that if you're gonna drive it in the balance mode, you really have to get used to driving slowly away from stop signs and stoplights, which I'm not used to at all. So should you buy a 2014 Panamera S E-Hybrid? Well, obviously, as a vehicle ages, there are a number of maintenance issues that you should probably look at, and especially a more complicated Porsche and a hybrid one at that. With two powertrains, you're expecting twice as many things to, well, potentially go wrong. To simply change the battery in this car, it's between $15,000 and $20,000. And that's not even including any of the other maintenance like brakes or tires or suspension. This car has air suspension, so there's more things to go wrong with that. And also this car has a ton of features that, once again, in an older, more expensive luxury car, will start going wrong, will start breaking, and your repair bill will start going up. This car we're driving here is racking up the miles, and it is actually kind of showing its age. It doesn't actually seem normal for a Porsche, because my Cayman has over 100,000 miles on it, and it feels much more put together. Steering wheel is more planted. It doesn't creak and rattle like this one does. So it's possible that maintenance is better on mine. However, once again, that's something to consider when looking at this car. What do I think of this car? Well, it kind of feels like a disappointment. And while I'll still hold my judgment for the Panamera model as a whole, this car did not feel as nearly put together as I imagined it should. The interior still feels luxurious, even though the screens were a bit outdated, and all the buttons feel decently good. The front looks amazing, and I could probably even forgive the side profile and the rear. However, it comes down to the driving that was the true disappointment for me. With these cool acid green highlights and huge brakes, you could be forgiven to think that this car is going to be similar to the hypercar. However, after driving it, it's hard to imagine that it was even the same brand that made both cars. There are so many better cars you can get for the same driving experience, feeling, as well as price. So to answer this question, should you buy this car in 2025? I probably wouldn't. And that's all for today. We thank you so much for watching. If you haven't yet, please make sure to like and subscribe, as it really helps us out. We'd love to hear what you think about this car, about the review, and what would you get instead of this Panamera. Once again, we really hope you enjoyed the video, and most of all, we hope you all have an amazing rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next one.